start afresh. Good now. Okay, so welcome to RT Live Talk, Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. Excited to be back. Looking forward to connecting with you guys. And of course, there's always going to be some errors. I'm pretty much a one-man show in the back end, so forgive me, but we're going to make it work tonight. And for those that are tuning in, any first-time viewers, let me know where you're watching from via the chat. And then when the phone lines open, 313-462-0027, give me a call. We'd love to hear what's on your mind. And as I was trying to say earlier, is that tonight I'm going to probably share a couple articles, share my 2 cents on it, take some phone calls, and then at about 10 o'clock, give or take, for those that are in the Discord, if you're interested in joining me face-to-face and having a chance to connect and doing something that I haven't done in quite some time, which is invite you guys on screen to hang out, introduce yourself, and just go back and forth. I think it's power in numbers, and it'd be good to bounce ideas and strategize off one another. And so the link to connect with me is in the Discord page for those that are interested. And so at about 10 o'clock, I'll start letting people in, and we'll just see how this goes. And, keep it respectful, keep it, Christ-focused in a sense, but we're going to have fun with that. So welcome to the live stream. And let me actually just acknowledge a couple people for giving me the heads up that the mic was not working. I apologize for that. And then I'll jump right into some articles. And I want to get your thoughts on the video from earlier in regards to the false flag event that's part of the setup that they're, it's leading us towards. And we can go from there. And so a lot of thoughts since then. But anyway, so let me acknowledge a couple people. We got Tony B, we got Bougie Prepper, we got Vic, we got Kenneth Gibson, we got L Walk, we got Larissa Jackson, David, Simon, an alternative Dr. Moda in the building. Okay, fair amount of people here. Ron. All right, Mass Administrator, we got Show Nuff in the building. All right, so it's a good amount of people, man. I appreciate you guys taking time with me. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button. Show the support for the channel. It's definitely going to be worth your time. And as always, trying to find more ways, new ways to have you guys, the audience, connect. And so a lot of the articles I grabbed them from the Discord page. So you guys can get a chance to let your articles be represented in the evenings. So we got more people checking in. All right. Haven't seen the earlier video, but I'll actually touch on the actual visual aid or just a little picture that I was talking about and referencing whatever. Okay, so let me just jump right in. All right, let me just jump right in and start wasting time. So I wanted to lead off tonight with something that caught my attention just because it was a, I wouldn't even say an opportunity, but yet it's just another way where the people who are trying to orchestrate all this, they're using every single avenue they have to further remove our freedoms from us and make it appear as if it's, the solutions that they're going to throw at us are what's best. And what article just caught my attention is what I pretty much, gave the thumbnail for. And it happens to be with the increase in the amount of fake health passes that's circulating based upon the cards from those who have and have not participated. And of course, they threw out these little small rinky-dinky paper certificate things as proof of participation on purpose. Because as I've always said, the ultimate goal is to utilize the blockchain, which is what it was initially intended for by these perpetrators here. And so this article here caught my attention. And then also over the past couple of days, somebody, a friend of mine who's in town from Puerto Rico, and of course he was flying Spirit, so he got stuck here in Michigan. But he was saying, "Hey, Mike, let me know if you're trying to travel, whatever. I got the guy who can get you the pass or who can get you the certificates." I'm thinking like, I'm like, man, like you don't know what's going on, man. Like they're literally dependent upon people using fake passports, fake certificates, fake this, fake that, so they can come out with their solution because they're going to say it's what's best for us. But yet all along, they already have everything already set up. And here's an article I'm going to share real quick, which just highlighted a couple of things. And the very last sentence in this article here pretty much let you know more of their agenda here. But this is out of Euro News. So I got about 6 or 7 articles, share my 2 cents on them, share the news with you guys. And then we'll open up the face-to-face for those that are interested. As I mentioned, for those jumping in, if you want to join me face-to-face, the Discord link is the link to connect with me is in a Discord page. So it says fake COVID certificate sales rise as health passes become mandatory. So this is, of course, in the EU. But as I mentioned, I had a guy here who said he got the hookup for me if I wanted it. And so give an idea here. It says the certificates becoming mandatory around the world. Some people are turning to social platforms, and look what they're trying to pinpoint this on. Telegram. to buy fake health passes at a cost of around $100. And so it says in just a few months, accounts selling Photoshop certificates that are being delivered via email have grown in number in Europe and around the world. It says they can Photoshop it and they can start selling it with appropriate information, yada, yada. Italy, as well as European countries, have introduced smartphone apps. And so, of course, that's another alternative. It says to verify, and that's the thing, like there's been articles that we've touched on in the past where it was a leak out of the UK about how they already had the UK Health Pass, I think whatever it's called, or whatever the name for it. They had it ready to roll in 2018. So it's just interesting how it's being thrown out as a suggestion right now. But to go on, it says, since the beginning of the pandemic, the popularity of these channels have increased. So they're highlighting Telegram because Telegram is probably one of the more decentralized, no outright single point of failure. And they're using this to shine some negative light on this. And this might be a channel, or somehow they're going to try to remove Telegram. So we'll see how that goes. And then also they're talking about the apps and papers. But the very last line here, it says here, and this is about, crossing borders. And it says the border control authorities lack. Let me get rid of it. It says lack an international database. And so they're making this hint as if like this is something that they can use to help keep the fake QR codes and stuff like that from being utilized, as well as a fake certificate. So once again, once you hear the words or suggestion of an international database, that already lets us know that there's already one in play. I.e., just look up Operation Warp Speed. And so the 60-minute special that was done several months ago, I think it was last year, showed that there's an entire operation of the actual military with the Department of Defense and the Department of Justice are working together, collecting all this data. So mind you, every single jab comes with a serial number on it, as well as the test that's submitted with your information. So there already is a database, but it's just entertaining to see how they're trying to put it out there as if like that's something that's needed, knowing damn well that's a part of the plan. And so one thing that came to mind when I saw this article here was that all along, we all know that all this is a setup. This is a big sham, and they're doing their best to try to pump as much fear out there. And to take it even worse, let me share another article with you that I just shared on the Twitter account. And it's about fear-mongering Fauci. That's what I call this guy. So this guy has the nerve to already have been caught up in a scandal with his email situation, showing that he knew about everything, lied about everything, and everything in between. But here is a article here that, once again, is another setup for the worst, which they're going to try to throw at us. And so here's an article here I just shared on Twitter. It says, Fauci, fear-mongering Fauci fears a variant worse than Delta could be coming. And so here's the thing. This is where people have lost their ability to rationally think about how viruses operate, how even the flu season operates. How can we just have been introduced to a variant, which is, if you look at the video with Dr. David E. Martin that was released on July 9th on Rumble, he tells you that there's about 70 or so variations that are all just adjusted genome sequences that they patented. So we can literally see 50, 60, 70 different variations within this decade. But yet each one will get worse because they're going to definitely clamp down even more. But how can we have just been introduced to Delta, what was it, 30 days ago, or give or take? And already this guy's out here being quoted talking about the worst is yet to come. And just to piggyback on that video from earlier I was talking about, I advise everybody who have not seen it, go check out that video. And whether you are a skeptic or whether you are a person that have bought into a hook, line, and sink, once you see all those U.S. patent numbers that he just call off, and you go research it for yourself, you'll definitely understand, the game that they're trying to play on us right now. But yet, could this possibly, the announcement of something worse, could this possibly be the flu bug that's going to hit naturally every flu season, give or take? And so it's just something worth thinking about here. So let me know what you guys think. And then I want to touch on earlier, this is the video, or this is the little image here that I talked about for those that may not have a chance to see it. I'm curious also to see what you think, hear what you guys think. But just this thing here from Brighton. So Brighton is like a social media platform that, you you have to apply to be accepted and stuff like that. So you can post videos, share videos. So I applied to, join the platform, but I never heard about it until today. But if you read through this, it just talks about the setup ultimately. And the setup is the fact that there's a plan to push the lockdown narrative that's being engineered to invoke a backlash. They want people in the streets. So it's good to say this upcoming winter here in Michigan and in the Northern Hemisphere, people are not really probably likely to hit the streets just because of the weather. But down south, if there were states that decide to participate, which is not too likely unless they try to, have a couple Republican states. I don't think Texas. I saw Abbott talk about today that he's not shutting down again. He's not doing mask mandates again. He's not doing all that. But in Florida, I don't think will either. But we'll see. But anyway, the objective is to create enough backlash from the narrative of a lockdown to an actual lockdown so that they can say, hey, people are going to be on the streets. And like I mentioned earlier, you better believe there's going to be some paid agents out there designed to cause chaos and hectic to cause chaos. And therefore, they're going to call out the National Guard troops that's still in D.C., I think. And then, of course, there's an article out today about the Secretary of Defense, Davis, said that it's mandatory for all armed forces to participate by, I think, September or so. So the goal will be to get people out there, piss them off, create an event, and therefore that'll be the wide open door for them to say, hey, we need to come in and remove guns, because it's going to be a gun event. It's going to be some type of and this is where it bothers me to even go down that rabbit hole. But in order to create some type of false flag event, it's going to have to be something that gets the world's attention. And typically, when they try to get the world's attention, it usually equals a large amount of lives lost, i.e., what happened 20 years ago on a certain date in September, what has happened over the last year with the fact that more harm was done from those who were put on ventilators than actual, virus or anything like that probably actually took them under. And so that's another event of a massive amount of lost lives. So point in case is, if you kind of see what they're doing, that's why I mentioned take this particular picture here, share it on your social media, just so it's like giving people a warning as to what could be. It might, if it doesn't come to fruition, great. But the more that this type of information circulates, the more it gets people to question and even say, hey, I saw this a couple months ago on my friend's page, and look at it. It's either true or this guy's out as rockers. But it'll give people something to chew on for those that might be on the fence as to whether or not this is real or not. Because I imagine by now, a lot of people are realizing that, you were told that you can go back to normal after you've participated with both jabs. Now, the World Health Organization telling people to hold off until about September to get that booster. And then when you look into it deeper, the booster is not, it's the same jab. So as I mentioned before, Trump did a pre-order of about 600-700 million vials. So they got inventories, and no one talks about which ones need to be refrigerated below, was it 70 degrees, negative 70 degrees, and which ones can have a longer shelf life. That I don't talk about no more. It's all about go down to your local grocery store and get jabbed. And, yeah. Anyway, so just something to think about. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that. And then here's another article that came from the Discord as well. It says biggest U.S. Navy war games in 40 years. And so this is something that came out today. So once again, why all these games? It's a game until something occurs. So outside of what's happening on the mainland with the push to make sure everybody participates, and what's happening in other countries with protests, we got the warmongering and industrial complex, because all the big Lockheed Martins, the Boeings, and all those war missile creating companies, they haven't been profiting too much because they haven't been making them money. So maybe it's their turn now. And so we factor in biggest exercise in 40 years to prepare for World War III across 17 time zones and amid tensions with Russia, China, and Iran. How convenient would this be just to have, conflict in the sea? Man. So this is on the sun. So take it for what it's worth, but yet anything is possible at this current moment. And here's just a little more news here. China orders Beijing on lockdown due to another outbreak. So this is what we're hearing. And then here's another one I put in the Discord. Says nearly a fully vaccinated island or Iceland says reintroduce restrictions may hold for 15 years. And this is the country of Iceland, a beautiful country that they have just completely destroyed with their agenda. And on top of that, you look at their numbers, they've had like 30 or so people fall victim to whatever. So it says today, Iceland, a nation of 330,000, has seen 7,600 cases and 30 fatalities. So out of 30 people having passed, they are shutting down and talking about the threat of restrictions of some kind up to 15 years. So, yeah, definitely not the land of the free. All right, and here's another one here on the crypto space here. It says, Senator moves to exempt Bitcoin crypto miners from proposed U.S. tax rules. So we got Cynthia Loomis, who's out there leading the charge, the Republican from Wisconsin or Wyoming, who's a pro crypto fan and of that doing big things in her state. And so we'll see if this sticks. But there's too many big players in the game, too many balance sheets looking to hold on to Bitcoin for them to actually mess with the corporation funds. And so just something worth thinking about. And then speaking of which, it looks like Miami is coming out with their own coin. So it's called the Miami coin or the MIA. And so I thought this was interesting. So it says Miami coin is the first city coin to market built to support the Magic City while rewarding its holders through the stakes protocol. So it's a protocol similar to the Lightning Network for Bitcoin. So somehow, some way, they're going to try to incentivize people to use the Miami coin, which will be some type of version of the on the Lightning Network. So we'll see. They're using innovation to try to make something happen. And then here's something that caught my attention as well. It says Trump seeks to block Treasury Department from giving his tax returns to Congress. So once again, at this point in the game, who the hell really cares would be my question. It's good to say, he has probably paid, maybe $1,000 worth of taxes, probably net profit, 40, 50 $50 million. Big deal. I mean, all these big honcho business owners pay no taxes. That's just the loopholes. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki does a good job of telling you how not to do it. So why would they still be pressing this other than they just need some news? They need them in the news to give that narrative that they're still trying to get them or some crap like that. But anyway, that's all she wrote, man. That's all she wrote. A lot of articles here, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think, man. So let's talk. Phone lines are open. I'm curious to hear what you guys think on any of these subject matters here. And then my question I want to throw out there to you guys is, knowing the crackdown and the setup for people to be lulled into using fake certificates, fake paperwork, have you, will you? Of course, you don't have to rattle yourself, but what do you guys think about that? I personally haven't used it, don't plan on using it. That's just me. But yet there's ways around it. It's more so support businesses that don't condone the mandates and stuff like that would be my first suggestion. But anyway, hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing, Mike? It's Pay Me Money Bags, Killeen, Texas.
Pay Me Money Bags. What's going on, my man?
Not too much. I want to touch on a couple of things. I'm a military man. I'm a war vet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one thing that they taught us. And when we training, official will come up and they'll be like, I need a highly motivated soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the objective of this is he wants everybody to come in unity and one, because that's why they say we're an army of one.
Yeah.
You get it so far?
Yeah.
All right. Let's transpire into us. When we see a problem, all these problems on Capitol Hill with crypto and regulations and COVID, when people like you and George Gammon and all the rest of these people that I consider leaders, when y'all come together, we don't have an army. We don't have people that's going to go to back. Let's take the Ripple case with John Deaton. He's the lawyer for the XRP Army. Okay, well, he got 19,000 people out of the crypto community that he's representing.
Yeah.
They all came together to complete an agenda, and that's what we're not doing against the government.
Yeah.
I can do another example. When the Indians tried to get their land back, what did they do? They formed an organization. They came as an organization and sued the United States government, and they won. We're not doing that as people.
Right.
We have to go a little bit, or figure out a plan to go a little bit beyond talking.
Right.
Like when you come to a platform, one day just ask people, what do you think our action should be?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm about that. I'm about that. And so with that being the case, great way to throw that out there. And so it's a matter of being able to unify. And then in unifying, where do we? So the question then be, where do we take it? We can't take it to DC like that, because we know what happens when you take a good cause and you put it in that environment. It's going to be infiltrated. So that's one of the biggest concerns. Like, how exactly do you approach that, knowing that if it was something to gain momentum, you have 50,000 people show up, 5,000 going to be paid agents that's going to come there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm open to ideas, and I'm like, I think it's more important now than ever to assemble and to let our voice be heard. But how do we do that without being infiltrated would be my question.
Well, I don't think there's any way around the infiltration. Actually, the infiltration will be good, because as we go through things, it will actually prove our point of us being right.
Yeah.
If we can sit up in the middle of a debate and find infiltrators that and show and put that on the books, that will actually show how correct we are, how manipulative the system is. But we have to come with facts. Like we be on Twitter and YouTube, a lot of us come with a lot of facts.
Yeah.
We have to take these same facts to the House. We have to show them the facts. Just the numbers. I mean, you hit it right on the money every single time that you come on this platform. And if we had a good panel of people, let them infiltrate.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we catch them, we got too many sharp people like low blood pressure. I can see him at the door. Hey, Mike. Hey, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah.
I could just see it. So, I mean, we got to start somewhere. As long as we get the ball rolling, man, I think the rest will take care of itself.
Hey, I like your thinking, man, and I'm open to ideas, man. So that's why I invite and welcome anybody who has any type of actionable steps we can take. Because right now, 2021, like it's August. Like right now, if we don't do something right now, 2022 and beyond is long gone. Because I'm concerned with this current fall and winter. We won't get out of this year without there being some type of false flag event that I was talking about earlier. So, and that's why like this little thing I was showing a moment ago, putting it out there, that's a way. If that thing could go viral to where people just share it, it'll let people know that there's possibly a setup for the false flag event to take your guns. That'll give people a heads up, and then we can talk about that, get in the street, show that. So I'm for that, man, and I'm open to ideas. That's the thing. Like the People's Platform, this is the People's Talk Show. Let's come up with ideas. I'm about that. So let me get a couple more people on here, man, and then of course in the chat, if you guys got ideas, shoot it out there. Let's talk about it.
Hey, no problem, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I am all about that. Hello, caller. Where you calling from?
Yeah, Mike, Steve, Beamer Region 9.
Steve, what's going on, my friend?
Good. Hey, saw your video from earlier today. Good job on that. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hey, no problem. Hey, there's Mike Adams did a piece on that this past Sunday. Exactly what you were talking about in the video.
Yeah.
Today. He did a piece on it from this past Sunday. I sent it to you, but I'm sure you get so much stuff that you can't see everything. But anyway, I resent it to you probably about 45 minutes ago. You go to your email, it has Mike Adams on there.
Okay, I will check on it.
Yeah, if you can post it. Yeah, he goes really in depth. My jaw was hanging by the time he was done. But he was talking about Biden wants to wait till the problem occurs and then bring in the UN to handle this. Primarily Chinese troops.
Yeah.
So he goes into depth. So if you can throw that into the community, great, so everybody can see it.
Right.
And then the last thing is, everybody, please, like Mike's been saying, stock up on the food and stuff. There's two videos there, actually, Mike. The one that says Mike Adams, and there's another one where it says about the South Africa woman that was driving around with the food lines. Because you know how we have the food lines here. But at least the people were in the cars here.
Yeah.
And it's still backed up for miles.
Yeah, that video. I've shared that video before. I've shared that video because that was like, I think maybe early June-ish, give or take, when South Africa, that's when we heard about it initially. So I did share it. So, yeah.
Okay.
But
but the Mike Adams video is good. And the death toll, he goes into that too. And my jaw was hanging by the time he was done.
Yeah.
He goes into more depth than the Brighteon article.
Yeah.
Is basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm gonna let you off here to finish listening to the show, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. Yep.
Later.
Yep. All right. It's good stuff. So let me so here's the video. Let me get this on screen real quick. So here's the video Steve's referring to here. And so a lot of good information, man. When you put all the pieces of the puzzle together in great detail, this is the type of stuff you get here with this interview here. So if anybody's interested, I'll put it in the Discord. I think I might already put it in there, but I'll copy it now, put it in the Discord in the video section. So, and you guys can check it out if you're interested to do that. Also, I'm trying to put that link up for you guys to join me face to face. So it's in a Discord page. So if you guys are interested in joining me, so let's get ready to open up that. If you guys are interested, click that, and I'll actually, I'm trying to rip it and run and trying to make sure I get everything done to the best of my ability. Let me grab this link here, and then if anybody's interested, I'll put it in the Telegram chat, Telegram group right now, and you can join me, and we can hang out a little bit. It's always good to be able to connect with people directly. So let's get a couple more calls in, and I'll wait and see if anybody's interested in joining me. Hello, Carlos. Where are you calling from?
Hey, Mike. This is Ed. How you doing?
Ed, I'm doing good, my friend. What's going on with you?
Hey, I'm wondering who's going to take our guns, man. I don't think the local police, everybody I talk to, is not going to do that. The last caller said something about the UN. I don't think the U.S. military. I mean, who's going to demand this? We got 150 million people owning guns in the United States. How are they going to do it? Who's going to be willing to go against the American people to do that?
That's a great question. I don't know, but what I was thinking about this earlier is that every gun owner, lawful gun owner, is registered with the local law enforcement agency. So the information database is there. So I would assume if they plan on actually trying to execute something like that, then they have to have some type of plan to do that. It won't be any foreign troops, whatever, coming to the local police stations. And so that is the globalist greatest threat right there, because if they don't have something worthwhile to execute that, then they can't fully pull off everything in its entirety. So I don't know, but I'm open for ideas. If you got any, or if anybody in the audience out there got any ideas, let me know. But we know that that's their agenda somehow, some way.
The statement you made is not exactly true. I'm in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to a gun show and buy a gun from a person at the gun show or someone who's set up at a table.
Uh-huh.
As long as he is not a dealer, if he says this is my personal collection,
mm-hmm.
I'm selling this. All you have to do is show a driver's license. I buy it. I'm a legal gun owner.
Yeah.
It's not registered. Now, when I go to a gun store,
mm-hmm.
I go in. They do a background check.
Yeah.
Supposedly, they call the FBI. They give my name, where I was born, all that stuff. They check my, criminal history, make sure I'm not a felon,
mm-hmm.
Make sure I don't have any domestic violence,
mm-hmm.
and then say, okay, he's cool selling the gun.
Yeah.
Okay. So supposedly that is not recorded. So what is recorded probably is where that gun was sold.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the FBI keeps all the records they can. So they could be, collecting all those. If you buy a gun from a regular dealer,
yeah,
a registered dealer, then that gun, there is a way to track it. If I buy a gun and then there's a crime with it, they can go back to the manufacturer, say, who'd you sell this gun to? Well, we sold that to Ed's Outdoors.
Yeah.
And then go to Ed Outdoors. Who'd you sell that to? I sold that to Ed the Man.
Yeah.
Whatever. But there's a lot more guns out there as it is, but
yeah.
I just don't see them having the police. Some people, Australia just turned theirs in. I'm sure some people are just going to sell them.
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing a buyback. That's the way they usually start.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's more guns. There's more unknown guns out there in the hands of actual crooks and criminals than there are in law-abiding citizens. And so there's no way of getting them all. It's just more so, I think it's going to be some tactic to create fear, to where they try to convince people either through law, some type of whatever, where they're going to say, turn it in. And if you turn it in by this date and bring it down, and we'll give you this, or you give you that, or something like that, some type of fear to get people to submit it to them by some type of event, perhaps. And of course, majority of people will not. but it might get enough people, especially people who participated in that program. Because also, and here's something crazy. This is a little far-fetched. Just bear with me. If there's a psychological, neurological issue that's going to occur with people who participated because of the frequency waves, and their thoughts can be altered, and they can, be received input from the towers, they can be easily told to submit their guns or feel a little bit more sympathetic towards the event to where they voluntarily turn their guns in based upon if they hear voices. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever that crazy stuff out there, they can be told to turn them in lawfully and actually think that they're doing a service to their country type of thing through some type of.
Yeah, right. Even without the neurological, the jab and, all the stuff they can maybe do through that, which we're not sure about. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people would still turn them in. First of all, they'd probably say, hey, we're going to make it illegal. You need to turn them in. Well, we're going to buy them back now.
Yeah.
Next step is if you keep it, and we find out you got it, you're going to prison for 10 years. I think they're going to get a lot of guns that way.
Yeah.
But, the people who are willing to use the guns, the people who are willing to use them, ain't turn them in.
Yeah, I can see that as well. And so, yeah, they're going to find some way to get them out of your hands one at a time. And unfortunately, a lot of people will fall victim to it. And we'll see. But the goal is to try to find a way to touch everybody's breaking point. And so the upcoming breaking point will be the employers mandating some things, causing people to mess with their livelihoods. And then after that one, I think if there's a good portion of people decide to let their job go on unemployment or something like that, will they extend the unemployment then as well, or cut that off as well, or how are they going to make maneuvers? Because some people will just say, hey, I'm not participating. I'm going to lose my job. I'll just knuckle rice and beans and figure it out. But then again, will they extend unemployment beyond the September the way that it's going to cut off or whatever? So we got a lot of stuff, man. It's possible. So, yeah, man. It's
it's a new time, but the founding fathers had it right when they said form a militia.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a militia, or not even like a real super sophisticated army, but we were just organized.
Yeah. And
we said, hey, we're going to protest this. Everybody bring their weapon. And then we get out, we can police ourselves. When the intruders come in, the troublemakers to, try to do a false flag or something like that,
mm-hmm.
You got to police that yourself.
Yeah, very true. Hey, man.
We're talking war tactics now. I hope it don't get down to that.
Yeah, I pray to God it don't as well, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, be good. Yeah, a lot of good thoughts, man. And that's one of the benefits of being able to talk to people directly, to where you get to bounce ideas off each other and like just more thoughts are coming. So anyway, I want to just take a call real quick, and then I want to connect with people, and so see who's interested in having the first face-to-face hangout a little bit where we get a chance to talk. Any brave souls out there, let me know. And so the link is in the Discord and Telegram. So best way to get it. Hello, caller. Which name are we calling from?
Hi, Mike. This is Mike from Philadelphia.
Mike from Philly. How you doing, my friend? What's on your mind?
Doing good, sir. Two things. First, briefly, yesterday when we were on the EMF
mm-hmm.
conversation,
yeah.
Your mic got cut off for a little bit. I was just wondering if you thought you were catching flack for being a little too close over the target, or what your thoughts of
great.
That.
Hey, I don't know. I actually listened to the playback, and then I've never heard like what sounds like chipmunks. I've never heard that. I've had some issues before, but never chipmunks at a crucial point where I was talking about liquid crystals based upon that gentleman saying what was going to be used in people's bodies. And then he referred to Rwanda and how they used, some signals to manipulate people, have them turn on their own kind, and then everything went crazy. So, am I still alive now or what? So, but no, I don't know, man, but it was just not coincidental, that's for sure. And then have all those bots spamming me last night. That was crazy.
Well, I got another thing I want to touch upon this term, we're all in this together.
Mm-hmm.
For starters, I don't think that was applying to us. I think that was a larger communication to those who are all in this together. And I don't think that includes us. I think they communicate large scale through large scale communication networks. But I want to touch upon Jade Helm. And if we had not already seen Jade Helm enacted, which was when they would turn essentially Walmarts and the malls into these places that had gone out of business intentionally, into places where they were literally FEMA camps, except the only difference was they didn't force people into them. They got people through psychological operations to go into them voluntarily. So, I mean, we saw in what I believe is Jade Helm successfully completed.
Yeah. Hey, great analysis, great assessment with that, man. I appreciate you calling and sharing that, man.
All right, brother. Likewise. Take care.
Yep. All right. Let's try to connect real quick. Let's see if we can get a couple people to join us, man. I see somebody hanging out. Let me see here. So, in order to connect on the face-to-face side of things, I would prefer if we had ability to connect face-to-face. So, only if you're a brave soul that want to connect, and show your pretty or handsome face, feel free to do so. It's one thing to talk directly to a camera, but I want to also be able to talk to a live person if possible. So let me know. But I see somebody here. The device is not on, so I'm just gonna, remove you from the guest list. But anyway, so phone lines are open. Give me a call. Let's talk, and I'll check in via chat. But I want to try to just shake things up a little bit. And so it is a people's talk show. So let's connect directly with the people. So reach out to me. Links are in the above locations, locations below. And let me know. January 6th was the FBI setup that put the crushing of any resistance by U.S. Army in place. Roth. Okay. So this is interesting here. Walmart equals Mart law. And of course, I remember 3 or 4 years ago talking about how if prior to the prior election of, the Hillary Trump situation, well before that, we're talking about how there was buku Walmarts around the country, ideally around locations not far from the railroads, because there's, the railroad was going to be a way, or was going to be a way of transporting people, and behind the scenes. And there's the Walmarts closest to those railroads were being vacant, and they were shut down and reconstructed or whatever for what. And so I remember people snuck in there and saw pictures of empty Walmarts with cages in them. And I'm like, what's going on here? So perhaps those things, I don't know. Let me know if you got some Walmarts in your area that's still shut down. That's something that would be worth seeing. But yeah, there was videos out there circulating 4 or 5 years ago. And of course, at that time, we're talking about what would that be used for? Not really thinking about come 2020 and beyond, those events could be used for what's coming. And okay, so I can keep, let me see here. Let me see. I can go down a rabbit hole. Let me figure out. So somebody shared a link to, let me see if I can find it. It was a link to something that the CDC released in 2018 about preparedness for an event and how they would deal with people labeled as high risk. And right in the CDC documentation, if I can find it, nope, I don't know where it's at. But anyway, just give you a little bit of idea what's going on. The CDC was saying basically that those that are considered high risk, whatever the hell high risk meant, I didn't read the full documentation, but it's talking about using schools, warehouses, or facilities to remove those people from areas where they may be hostile or endanger other people's lives and place them in those locations. That was like one of the steps that they use. I'm thinking like, would that be one of the Walmarts or whatnot? Yeah, probably so. Anyway, so somebody says no windows in these big Walmarts. Not a single window. Only thing you got is a skylight at the top of the ceiling, which is extremely high. You ain't nobody climbing up. You're not gonna be able to climb up there. So interesting stuff, man. Anyway, let's talk. Tune in to be watching. Where's the face-to-face link and thumbs up? King D, you gonna join me face-to-face, man? If you want to join me face-to-face, I want to put it so that only people who are willing and really a part of the community will be willing to take that extra step to go get it. And especially after last night, the whole attack from the bots or whatever it was, that was just ridiculous. I'll put it in a location where the link is in the Telegram group, and then in a Discord page, right inside of the general or discussions, it's a link there. And so that's the easiest way, so that people don't try to just jump on and talk nonsense and talk crazy. I want to keep it sincere and keep it real, man, just because I want to give you guys a chance to connect. And let's have a little back and forth. Everything outside of the Federal Reserve existence is high risk. Come on, man. Everything is high risk. And I was thinking about earlier, so today, I just happened to be out and about, went to my weight, man, got my weight up a little bit, and seeing the premiums, man. So Silver Eagles for my one guy, it was $38.50, and then he had some Libertads for $38.75, and then he had just the generic stuff for $32.50. And I'm thinking like that's a $10. So just looking at this current spot price, did you guys see, well, if you didn't look, but I saw something about there was a slam of the metals earlier to the tune, I think 5.5 million, 5.5 million contracts, gold contracts was just dumped. So you mean to tell me in the midst of all this high risk bubble assets, somebody just sold it? Because think about it, we went from 1815 throughout the day, give or take, up to 1830. That was too great of a spike. Somebody dumped 5.5 million contracts of gold, taking it to 1807. And then, of course, it recovered a little bit. And right now it's about 1809. And the same thing with gold. Like something, as I always say, something broke today. Somebody was trying to keep the truth from coming out. And the best way to do that is to slam paper metals into the market and taking a loss, but you don't mind because you're trying to keep people from really understanding what's going on. And so that right there was very, very interesting to see that. Look at that type of drop. That was a hell of a drop. But here's the thing. I still paid $38 for an Eagle today. So I paid 13-ish over spot. So as I always said before, no matter what the spot price is, it's going to be a matter of how many units of currency will you spend in order to secure your weight. And at this current moment, I'd be willing to pay a little bit more than I normally would just so that I can secure that bag. And so it looks like we got somebody join us. D, let me know if you're trying to, turn your camera on, man, so you can join us. Chris says, Mike, I couldn't understand your response to my question last night due to the mic snafu. Do you think the 5% will start a revolution to take our government back or break apart like Hugo due to unrelenting left? Okay, great question. I apologize for the issue last night, man. Once again, one of the things outside my control. But and this piggybacks on Pay Me Money Bags when he called earlier about a revolution, resistance, or some type of activity leaning towards taking back our country from those who have oppressed us for far too long. Is it a possibility? Yes. Will it happen? Most likely not, unless you have a lot of people come together and figure out a way to strategically thwart the plan of the enemy. But it starts in the spiritual realm, like literally. So the first place we all should go is to get consultation from the Holy Spirit as to what God wants to do in this environment, because we can make all the plans we want, but that can play right into the enemy's hands if it's not coming from the highest source, which happens to be the Holy Spirit within us. So if that is possible, I hope so. I do see, states breaking up and there being some type of civil unrest because states decide to go on their own. We see what happened with Florida and Texas and other states. So it is a possibility. So it says, do you think the 5% will start a revolution? The 5%, if they could get enough momentum and attention, then more people can catch on. But I wouldn't hold my breath for it. So if that helps at all, let me know if that helps. Also, community, what do you guys think? There is opportunity because there's another day. There's another day to resist. Now, will it turn to revolution? I don't know if Americans are soft, to be honest with you. Like, here in America, we've been so spoiled and so privileged that I don't know if people are really ready to sacrifice their own lives for the betterment of this country, as well as our babies and our unborn. And if you're a parent, you know what it means to sacrifice, and you know what it means to probably be willing to lay it down for your family. But yet you got a lot of other people here who probably won't do it. So I don't see people deciding or wanting to hit the streets until they lose something near and dear to them. Then they will. But by that time, if we were to wait till something occurred for everybody to join forces, it's going to be too late. So long rant. Hopefully that was helpful, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And so for those earlier, let me know. But it looks like we got somebody tuning in right now. Let me know who we got on the phone right here. And so somebody's checking in. I'm not sure who it is. So I'll give you a second. If you can let your voice be heard, we can keep you on. If not, we have to keep it moving. So anybody want to check in? Let me know. If not, all right. So that's all she wrote. Anyway, so yeah, the goal is to try to connect. So feel free to join me. All right. Some more phone calls. If you guys want to talk, just do it. Keep Tupac songs on your MP3. Why am I blocked? Why are you, Jade, blocked from what? What are you blocked from? Let me know where you're blocked from. Way too comfortable in the US. Yeah, we are way too comfortable. Like, and it's the thing, like, so from that video I shared a while ago, how people are saying that, yeah, get your stuff together because we're, the rest of the world is dependent upon the US because we are literally the last country standing with all our rights and privileges and just, what we have, our freedoms, like literally our freedoms is being stripped one by one. And that's something that concerns me because people don't even realize that. They literally think they're going back to normal. And that right there, they've been lulled to sleep. Hello, caller. Which name are you calling from?
Hey, Mike. Name's Dan from Titusville, Florida.
Dan, how you doing, my friend? What's on your mind tonight?
Oh, just wanted to see if I could get you down a little rabbit hole. I don't know if you've seen these things before or not. If you could pull up Google and go ahead and type in weather modification programs, problems, policy, and potential. Have you ever seen that?
Let me type it in. I am familiar with the concept, but not sure about any particular names and models and makes. But let me pop some up.
This will blow your mind. It's at it's archived in the University of Florida.
Okay, give it to. I typed it. I don't use Google, so I use DuckDuckGo. So weather modification. What?
Yeah. Programs, problems, policy, and potential.
Programs, policy, and potential. Okay, you got me working. Okay, potential. Let's see what we come up with. All right, I'm gonna click it and see what happens.
You see one pop up that says University of Florida?
University of Florida. Yes, the very first one.
All right, go ahead, click on that.
All right, let me pop this open and see what we got. It looks like let me see here. I got a document.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You see the cover of it is it was a Senate or congressional committee.
1979.
Yeah. So this book is like 500 something pages long. I've read the whole thing.
Okay.
But if you go on page 39, like up in the top on the center, it says go to page.
Yeah.
Go to page 39.
39. Okay, we'll be fine. 39. Okay, 39. Let's hit go. 39.
All right, and then
go to 39. Come on.
Let me see.
Go.
All right, so down towards the bottom of the down towards the bottom of the page, you see it says the last paragraph says initial project Cirrus studies were made during the summer.
All right, let me having some difficulties on my side trying to find the page. It's loading. All right, page 39. I am in the book right now. Okay, so go where now?
Yep, bottom of the page, last paragraph. It says initial project Cirrus studies.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, keep reading that. A couple more sentences.
Okay, let me zoom in, zoom out. Okay, zoom in. It says initial Project Cyrus studies were made during the summer of 1947 on cumulus clouds near Sechatandi. I'm butchering the words, but the important seeding experiments were conducted the following year in New Mexico. Also during the 1947, there was an attempt on October 13th to modify a hurricane east of Jacksonville, Florida through seeding with dry ice. Says visual observations reported by flight personnel seem to indicate a pronounced change in the cloud deck after seeding. And shortly thereafter, the hurricane changed its course and headed directly westward, striking the coast of Georgia and South Carolina, even though there was a precedent that preceded that for such erratic behavior of hurricanes. So they shifted the direction of the damn hurricane in 1947.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's when they learned how to steer them. I don't know if you remember Hurricane Matthew, but I live 12.2 miles away from NASA's favorite launch pad.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Matthew was coming straight beeline right towards NASA and took a right turn. Anyways, the thing I was getting at with that is there's actually an article that I think kind of nails kind of nails a lot of stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
That was made by, let me see. It was produced by the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go on DuckDuckGo, whatever, and put China probed weaponizing coronaviruses.
Okay.
5 years before COVID outbreak.
Okay, Corona. All right, you got to be typing here. Coronavirus. I went 5 years before.
Yeah, China probed. And then the rest of that.
All right, let's see what comes up. China probe weapon. Okay, something pops up right here. Okay, first one. All right, Let me see here what we got. All right. Yeah.
Is that that's the one with the?
This is from the Sun as of May 8th.
Yeah. If you go down on that, down in there, there's a paragraph. I'm trying to find the article myself. I thought I had it pulled up.
Yeah.
There's a part down. It's a little bit further down in the article, but in there,
it says the Chinese language military document titled "The Unnatural Origin of SARS and New Species of Man-Made Viruses Are Genetic Bioweapons," as outlines the Chinese military plans with regard to bioweapons. So the military document, okay.
Yeah. So if you go down on my phone, it's showing right above a picture of a guy the guys in their biohazard suits.
Yeah.
It's right the paragraph right above it in parentheses or in quotes, it says, for example, a newfound ability to freeze dry microorganisms has made it possible to store biological agents and aerosolize them during attacks.
So this is a part of the military document on bioweapons. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is something new to me, man.
So yeah, that weather modification one, if you go through there, that's actually, I mean, that'll blow your mind, man. If you go through the history of it, they've been screwing with the weather. They've been messing with the weather since the 1800s. And they know how to make it rain. I'm sure you've heard of Operation Popeye and Ranchan, where they made it rain over Vietnam for, a year or whatever it was.
I just saw the craziest thing where I think it was Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. They had, I think I saw the article said something about they had drones. They sent drones up to make it rain. It's been so dry there. They basically paid to have it rain to where they had the whole city receive rain from drones technology or some crap like that. I'm thinking like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually, believe it or not, man, it's one of the fastest growing industries right now is weather modification. There's major corporations. They got like their own crypto and stuff that they're using and stuff like that. But it's, my thing is that, this thing that we're dealing with, people need to pay attention to the skies and then see what happens a few weeks later if all of a sudden we're starting to have more stuff. As crazy as it sounds, I got to wrap the tinfoil a little tight for that one.
But think about this: all the events we've had thus far, it's extreme heat in places where there's never been extreme heat. Like we're seeing all-time high. Canada was like 130 degrees or something crazy up there. Yeah, Texas got a damn snow front came through there. One of my uncle lived down there who was up here. Said he lived there 20 years, and never saw snow a day in his life in the area he lives in. But all of a sudden, it was 3-4 inches of snow. And then we got floods in Germany, floods everywhere in Europe, so they're deliberately doing this, and that backs up their claim of the climate change. We need to step in. So Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, everybody and their mother talk about climate change now because they're deliberately setting all this damn stuff off, and of course the grand solar minimum, all that other stuff people talk about as well. So
if you read through that whole document, by the time you're done with it, you'll be asking yourself, well, how are there ever wildfires that go out of control because they can just freaking make it rain and put it out? They've been doing this stuff long enough. They've got it perfected down. It's no joke. That's you know.
Yeah. Hey, man. But,
there is a little something to people, you know, that making the videos of the planes flying and following the lines. I mean, there's been lots of tests done. You know, Dane Wigington on Geoengineering Watch. He's kind of a snob, and he dashes a lot of people that try to raise awareness of things. But and if you try to use his videos, he'll come after you. But he shares a lot of stuff. He's gone through and done a lot of testing on different things and stuff like that. But
hey,
it's pretty crazy, man. I'll let you go.
I appreciate you calling, man. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. I'll definitely make sure I put that in the chat so people can take a look at that. So thanks for bringing us to light, man.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, be good.
Check out.
Man. Okay. And that's, so people, that's one of the benefits of having people in the community that's well informed, keeping their ear to the ground, eyes open, staying attentive to things, because they can bring, articles or whatnot and some of their knowledge base to the program. That's great, man. Appreciate it. And it just more so validates what's going on, stuff we already know, man, that the weather's been modified for a while now, but we got actual documentation going back to the 40s and probably beyond. So, yeah. So there is no real climate change other than the climate change they're creating. So pay me money bags. I saw you jump on, man, and set your camera up so you can be seen and heard. And I'll let you pop on here, man. So for those who want to join in, we go a couple more minutes. I want to just try something different and see if we get some people who want to join us. It says that spammer hit the chat exactly when I tried to highlight we didn't hear what you said about Discord video. How was the bot also racist? Everything and all. The bot was not racist. No, it's just that whoever programmed that bot, I would assume, because it was from 6 or 7 different fake accounts. So I don't think that's just one person. So it had to be the use of technology to do that. However, whether it's through any of the channels I'm streaming, they got wind of it. Who knows? It's just technology. People got that skill set to do that. And then you factor in the chipmunk voice of my microphone, which I've never had the chipmunk voice, at least, or whatever it was. So you just factor in those 2 events, something fishy happened. That's all. Keep it moving. It's probably, to me, signs of, you're probably stepping on some grounds that you shouldn't be. But in the meantime, I think it's worth talking about those things. So why is that now deleted? Jay Ward. So I did delete. I edited the sound issue, that little 5-minute patch. I got rid of that just because, it does no good to have that in the video. So I was able to get rid of that. Bernard says, how that would be science. Do not believe in science. Yeah, Bernard, science there's 2 types of science. There's the mainstream science and then the alternative science, or the truth. And of course, what we've been told from the mainstream is trust the scientists and all that other crap, which, of course, all those scientists have been bought and paid for. Think about this. Most of the people who do those papers and those studies and all that stuff, they're funded by the same companies that they're supposed to be peer reviewing and stuff like that. So it's good to say that they're not, they're being paid pretty handsomely. 100%. That's why the coral reefs down here in Australia are dying perfectly. Normal natural events happen every 8 to 10 years. Coral grows under dead upon growth is how the reef grows. Yeah. Science is an exploration of truth. Shane, I can deal with that. Jay says, Mike, no, the chat message you just read is now gone. Okay, so Jay, I didn't delete nothing, so I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, nanotech can make fires. Oh, definitely. And so here's one of the statements I was talking to my wife earlier, mentioned about how I've always been a sci-fi fanatic. I just love sci-fi because it stretches the human mind and imagination. But now we're in an environment now where, science, they perfected science so much where you can probably remove the fiction part out of it, to where all the stuff that we could only see in movies, somebody out there created it and working on it. And to this point here, Simon, Stargate, I just going down rabbit holes. I hear information about dimensions, the 4th dimension, and this and that. And those 2, one of those videos that I was referring to about the doctor who had been interviewed, he talked about dimensions and having come in contact with some stuff. And so for whatever it's worth, man, for whatever it's worth. Oh, okay. We got Mr. Pay Me Moneybags live on air. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to put a face with a name. How you doing, boss?
I'm hanging in there, man. Just sitting tight with the family.
Yeah, man, that's good. So you called in earlier, and you make a good case of we need to do less talk and more action. But
Right.
here's the question: how do we do that in a way that's they can gain momentum as well as get some traction and get people involved, man? That's why I'm open to ideas, so we can talk through it, man. What are you thinking?
Well, I'll take a note from the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler. He just made a Twitter account, and his first day is something unique that he did to interact with the people. He started setting the polls. Now, I already know when he set this poll was to gain information. The more information that we, the people, give government officials is like a rat trap. They can go and twist it and use the information against us, just like apps, coupons, anything like that. So what I would do is start out with polls, start out with petitions. You have to see one thing about government is they want to see moving water for you to be a threat. And if we stagnant, then they don't care. They'll just, no one's going to care. You have to jump out there. Let's set a poll. Let's see who's going to interact with this poll. And that's one thing the government look at. They look at polls. They want those polls. So when you throw that out there, start tagging people that got platforms, 50 something thousand people that's actually involved with the government officials, that you see some of these government officials interacting with them on Twitter. That's your main, like, get a petition started. I'm willing to sign. I can take it to, I know a lot of military people. Everybody who's tuned in, look, if y'all are here.
So watch this. Hey, that's an actionable step right there. So I'm about that. Now, how about this? Are you willing to, put something out there? Give me some thoughts on paper, and if you put it out there, I'll tag it and share it, and we can do it. And I can definitely promote it through the community. We can do it. I'll put it out there in hopes of people participate. So the biggest thing is getting people who comfortable, complacent, who don't who may not be willing to move the actual rump out of a chair. Hopefully they'll be willing to tweet something, to tag somebody. Right. So we can put it out there, man. So hey, I'm about that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's definitely doable.
I definitely got a little bit of pull. I got an uncle here locally. He's on the NAACP here locally. He's on the city council locally. Like I said, I know a lot of military officials. There's a lot of the documents I can get a hold of. There's a lot of people I can talk to push the issue. The main thing is getting people outside of me and you involved. We have to get the common folk, the people who, I'm not going to say they're uneducated, but they're just green to the financial system.
Yeah.
I could tell you one thing to make that you can know that people's green. When you hand them $1 and you look at all the stuff that's on it, ask somebody what it means. And if you're toting around $1 with all these symbols and signs and stuff on it, you don't know what none of it, but you spending it, but people don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what it means. Well, you better start caring what it means, because what if tomorrow you wake up and they invoke something against us? Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, you can't do that. But it says right there on the dollar, we can.
Now, not to cut you off, but here's something in the chat here. So Shane threw out something. It says, end the Federal Reserve a 2024 ballot issue, a referendum. And so once again, I think the bank's charter, they even talked about renewing the bank's charter in decades now, just because it's automatic. And so educating people on the Fed is one thing, but then actually showing them the criminality behind a privately controlled institution, and then getting people out there to sign something about audit the Fed or in the Fed, either one. And here's the thing, like, it can get some signatures. A lot of people who are awake and aware might sign it, but I think it takes 10,000 signatures or some type of amount of signatures to be submitted to the White House for them to review it and whatever. They not going, it'll sit there. So if we were to sign a petition, how do we actually get some traction would then be the next question. You know what I'm saying? Even if we get the signatures.
Because sometimes it's not how many signatures you have. You have to look at the other end of it. It's the names of the signatures. So you might have 500 signatures, but if 3 of them are city council officials that are locally, or a governor or a mayor, that sparks, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you can get I can go right there to Fort Hood and get a couple high ranking officials that'll stick their neck out, because I'm a war vet. So, you know, people owe me favors,
Yeah.
especially special forces. They owe me
Yeah.
a lot of favors.
You know what I said? A first name to come to mind, of course, this may not be popular amongst most people, but it'll probably never happen because he has too much at stake. But imagine, so who's the Bitcoin evangelist right now? Who's the leading Bitcoin evangelist?
I'm gonna say, well, just in the youth, in the crypto
Or
space.
just the biggest voice out there that everybody listens to. Everybody puts him at like the front running spokesman for the Bitcoin adoption movement right now.
I would have to say, BitBoy.
BitBoy. Okay, so I was gonna say Michael Saylor.
No,
Because Michael Saylor's
BitBoy.
an
Look, hey,
institutional
check
man.
this out. It's one thing I know about BitBoy. I don't like a lot of the stuff he's saying, but if you got over 1 million subscribers, look at this, in your whole entire career, you've never been banned. And the minute that you start talking about a government official banking coin like XRP, and they ban you from YouTube, there's truth to you.
Okay, I can deal with that. So he lost the channel for like 10 hours or so and got that boy back quick. And I saw his little plea out there to YouTube, and they got that boy back quick. So
exactly, because he has a lot of people bagging him behind. He has a lot of people that can talk for him, but like, hey, look, man, he's bag up off of him.
So watch this. As I threw the question out there to you, I kind of, wasn't like a setup and all that first, but I assume you'll say Sailor, but a lot of people said Sailor. Somebody said Elon. Somebody said low blood pressure. We got Sailor, Max Kaiser, BitBoy, and then low blood pressure. I never heard of him. So those will be people. So I think Michael Saylor, but he wouldn't do it because of his company and his position, because he's the face for Bitcoin right now amongst all the other individuals. But those would be the people who would bring that to the table. Like if he just mentioned that on an interview, he'll be barred from speaking on any news syndicates ever again. And he might low-key pull the plug on his Bitcoin rants and expose some stuff about that man. But so those will be the people I would say in the Bitcoin space, because why not use Bitcoin as a narrative to why it was time to end the Fed? We got our own money now. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody big in the gold and silver space like that could be used. So you got to use their own weapon against them, and it would be the crypto space, in my opinion.
That's true. I mean, like I said, it's all weaponized. People got to pick and choose their poison. It's kind of like you look to your left and you got fire, but you look to the right, you have an endless pit. Neither one of them is good, but I'm gonna take my chances in the fire just because, and biblically, God brought him through that fire. I don't know about that pit. Once I'm falling, I don't think no angel's gonna come and save. I'm just saying, I'm gonna go with the fire. I'm gonna have to pick one, one or the other. I don't have a choice. But
that's real,
people have to realize when things are being weaponized against them, people have to start educating themselves. People have to follow the money. People got to stop being so gullible. Stop waiting till 10 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever the news station channel time is in your state and country. Stop waiting for that. Read a book. Go through archives. Come join the RTD live talk. You have to get out of mainstream media because you are a sheep getting led to the slaughter. They're not going to want you anywhere near them. The YouTube community right now is the only people who have a fight because we have a voice.
Yeah.
There are people who are highly invested in financial digital currencies that are not going to take a loss. They refuse to take a loss. So that's why you see people like John Deaton coming out of the woodworks. You got people like Anthony Hogan, John, I can't remember what Hogan's last name, Jeremy Hogan, that comes out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
And defending these people, because if you don't have any crypto, I'm not saying put your whole portfolio into it, man, but you have to have a hedge against the dollar, whether it be silver, whether it be gold, whether it be commodities, or cryptocurrency. But if If you wake up in the morning and all you have in your bank account, which is your whole family, is $15,000, you are in last place.
Yeah. And speaking of which, I started watching that video earlier, which was from yesterday about Gary Gensler, who was talking about all the stuff we were talking about last night, and it was entitled something about financial, national security risk, something about Bitcoin as a national security risk. And I'm thinking like, man, like what if you reverse that? They're preaching about how dangerous Bitcoin is because it disrupts their monopoly on the game. How about if we focused on the fact that fiat currency, the Federal Reserve note, aka the dollar, is a financial security risk for your future. You know what I'm saying? Like getting people to understand that. Like there's no financial future in a debt-based note anytime soon. So that'll be something that I've been preaching forever. Some people got it, some people don't. But finding little ways to get people to begin questioning will be ideal. So I'm about that petition, man.
I got a way to make them question, because here's something that if you're not in the crypto space or not too prone to it, you might not understand. And this has been happening since 2003, and it's been flying over people's heads. Okay.
Give it to me.
Bitcoin. Everybody in the chat that's watching, y'all listen to me. Bitcoin, right? Y'all keep talking about how it's a scam and this, that, and the third. I might even concur with half the things that you say about Bitcoin. Nevertheless, you cannot negate one fact. Through all the government policies, through all the government regulations, even though there isn't no regulations for the Bitcoin right now, but it was the first crypto. It is in so many institutions. Listen to me closely. It's in so many institutions.
Yeah.
Certain banks across the world are custody in crypto, starting from overseas, and it's integrated into in-state. Okay, you tracking with me so far?
Yeah.
No one knows who made it.
Or no
Look
one.
how far we are with Bitcoin. We
Yeah.
don't listen. I'm not talking about no Satoshi Nakamoto.
No.
I'm talking about.
So people. So there's some people. There's one of the community members said David Schwartz. That
Okay, listen to me. We're talking about by law, not who we think should be. Listen, you cannot go into a bank with no identity and cash some currency that no one is using and expect to get a return at BBVA or Chase or Bank of America. You can't do it. So you mean to tell me they got a digital currency that's loaded by banks around the world and people are using it as in government to our United States system? And no one knows who made it, and no one's protesting about it.
Yeah, somebody says Satoshi Greenspan. Right, I get your point. So here's the thing. So this is where I've always been skeptical, just because it's not by coincidence that in this time that a great reset is being called for, and they're wanting to get rid of the dollar and do something more, decentralized, or whatever. And CBDCs happen to be their suggestion, and also the economists cover of in 2018, the world is going to need a new world reserve currency, a world currency, because paper will be burning. And it happens to be something in the form of Bitcoin, as you're referring to, that the world appears to want. You know what I'm saying? That's where I always was like, it feels more like a setup than an actual a way to free the people type of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've always been on that had that stance, I think.
I'm gonna take you down this rabbit hole, and I'm gonna let you sleep on this. Check this out. Okay. You got the world, right? You got 5G that allegedly soon will connect the entire world, right? Okay. You got the United States government globally pushing this green agenda, right? Energy, right?
Yeah.
So they integrated that into the financial system. We have to make money more greener. The carbon footprint. We got to cut it back. Energy. That's what they've been stressing, right? Okay. Listen to me closely. You got
you better go far left field. Sounds like.
Yeah. Okay. Now you see how the Bible say that the money you won't be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast. It's going to be in your right hand, putting your right hand on your forehead. Now, that's what it says biblically, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now watch this. Allegedly, the end game is for whatever digital currency that they use when it goes the full noodle. I don't know if it's 20,000, 40 million years from now. I don't know. But you are walking energy. So the end game is for all this stuff to run off of you. How much money could we save if you, energy, a walking atom, proton, whatever you want to call yourself, powers this currency through your body? Now let's go to the movie Limitless. The movie Limitless with Justin Timberlake. I'm gonna twist it a little. I'm gonna twist it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you watch the movie Limitless, when they Timeless, whatever it was, when they had the time on their hand, look, I think it was on their right hand. But ask yourself the little mechanism that they had on their hand, where if they run out of time and everything, what powered it? It didn't come off.
Yeah. So watch this. So and now that you mentioned that, that's not too far left field, because I saw something. I wish I can show it real quick to validate it. But Microsoft patented a technology, cryptocurrency style approach that uses energy, I think, from the body, or it was something about, and it said it was Microsoft patented something about using energy from the body to, I want to say, power nodes, or it was something like that. That's how I read it. I'm thinking like, oh, Bill Gates, Microsoft already patented something about using the body for energy. So I don't think that's far-fetched at all, because I saw something with my own eyes and I read something like that. So
now check this out. With the company Ripple that's in the middle of this lawsuit, the XRP, they saying there are documents out there that there's already technology done, that they had a deal done with the United States Air Force, that there's already a chip that integrates with the financial system of Ripple. This information is out there already.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people were like, well, why would the United States Air Force fund it? That's who funded it. Through the Ripple. There's a chip that Ripple has already created that's going to link to the financial system that is supposed to be integrated in us eventually, when it's already made. They talked about it a long time ago, and like they're sweeping it under the rug. People ain't talking about that part.
Yeah.
So it's already here for it to be put in us. Is whenever they want to integrate it, I'm thinking it's going to be involved with the vaccines when they start forcing people.
So I do agree with that. That, to me, they have to destroy everything and kill everything currently, and then roll that out. So I think that's closer to 2030-ish. Like, that would be if I was just to guess what time frame, because I think their agenda is to have everything complete by 2030. So after 2025, when the CBDCs are out, everybody got them, everybody using them. Of course, by that time, the population is going to be a lot lower than what it is now. It's going to be very unstable. The economies will be trying to rebuild, and then it'll come about using human energy to power their network, their nodes. And of course, that goes into the nanotechnology, the algorithm, AIs is going to be running stuff. Yeah, man. So that's at this point, I'm willing to believe anything, because anything is possible. The way, as I mentioned, sci-fi is no longer sci-fi. It's real. It's science. They turn it into real life.
Mike, everything is possible. Every single thing is possible. Period. If you look in your Bible, everything that we talking about is possible. All we got to do is agree to go with the flow, or to rebel against what we already know is going to come. Like I told people, look, like I told my parents, once I don't go looking for prophecies in the Bible, but I ask God, be like, show me something that's blatant, right there in my face, that I don't have to decode.
Yeah.
Once I read that people in the world, he didn't name a specific spot, it's going to be burning money, and it's not going to be worth anything. And once I looked on my news channel, what was it, last year before last, and I saw money burning in Venezuela, I called my parents. I say, do y'all see scripture being fulfilled? He not saying where. I say, all I'm saying is, I'm reading this in this book, and I'm looking at Venezuela right now on TV, and it's money all over the country on the ground in the back of trash trucks. I say, man, I said, y'all go to church every day, every Sunday, and all this stuff. I said, y'all ain't seeing this scripture being fulfilled. What you doing with your Bibles?
What you paying attention to? What are you looking at? Here's something that was put out there in the chat. Let me grab it real quick that I thought made some sense. Let me find it. Where'd it go? Here is something from Donald that says, try organized days where you withdraw support from the system by not spending certain days, turn off your phone, etc. I don't think people are willing to sacrifice, though. And so that goes into with moving your support. And so that either means spending, if that's something that's possible, which people, more than likely people will not have it easy to do that. And then, of course, the killer will be the tax game. Literally, withhold, not that they even need it nowadays because they've gone well and beyond that, but that'll be your way of showing that you don't want to support the system because I'm not going to give you back what's actually yours through taxation. Would be a way as well, but that don't end too well for people who try that. So that's why.
I mean, look at here. The first thing they taught us back when we was little kids was about the boycott. Name a half a person in your life that you know that's actually used the boycott system.
And in my lifetime, in my circle, I don't know nobody.
Exactly. So if I don't know nobody in my lifetime, I can go ask my grandparents. And they don't know nobody in their lifetime. Listen, we got to start using stuff that the system didn't create. Like, okay, for instance, crypto. The reason why the government is in shambles is because they didn't create it. So they're not first in line. So it's only two things they can do. They can either listen to what we want or they can write us in or out in regulation. The only two choices you got. Yeah. Because we created the technology. So everything that they have to learn has to build from us. So the people who are the entities that are going to work with the government, our power is really in their hands because they can either sell us out or keep it real and be like, no, that ain't what our people, the government be like, well, we're going to do this. It's a good technology. We're going to have to regulate it. And the owners could be like, no, we're not going to do that because if it's not going to stay decentralized, then we don't need to do it. We might as well keep the American dollar. It's essential. It's already a monetary system. We might as well just keep it like that. But the whole point is to change and move forward. The government ain't going to do that. So we have to come up with a whole nother plan. Like I said, the best thing I can say is to show up and let them know that you mean business. And you have to hit them where it hurts. You have to expose people. You have to use facts, though. Like you have to use their own words against them. You have to have video, concrete, government proof that these folks are fraudulent. And then we have to come in and vote them out. That's one thing. Like here in Texas, I don't like Greg Abbott. I keep saying, and I'm not saying this is what I want to do, but I always tweet something like in my local paper. I'll be like, man, I'm waiting for somebody to grab Abbott and roll him into Travis Lake. That's what I'm waiting on because it's a lot of things.
But isn't Abbott, so I don't follow Texas like that too much, but is he being a little bit disruptive towards the establishment or is he playing into their hands or what? What's going on? What's your perception?
Abbott's job is to confuse and piss everybody off. One example, September 1st, you just passed the law. Listen to me. You just passed the law for September 1st for everybody 18 to 21, 18 to 20 can go get a gun, no license and no training, and you can carry it. September, that starts right like September 1st. Every 18-year-old to 20-year-old, you do not need a license for a firearm here in Texas, and you do not need no training, zero training. So when you do blatant things in our faces and no one's protesting, but as soon as this black guy gets his neck stepped on, oh, y'all shouldn't have did that. It was wrong. Okay, so is this over here? But you picking and choosing. You can't. Yeah. When something affects the entire nation, city, state, that's when you need to come out. Not when it just affects a street or a neighborhood. Yeah.
So you think he is taking orders from higher sources above himself, or he's literally playing devil's advocate, i.e., similar to the way the prior administration was, good guy, bad guy, playing his constituents, trying to get reelected, whatever type of thing, or what? What do you think?
I'm glad you asked that question. I've been a part of a federal trial before, and if you know anything about the feds, their conviction rate is 98%. A lot of people don't know how they get that number and maintain it consistently because they nail the conviction based on common sense. So you have to go through a federal trial to know that. Yeah. So their conviction rate comes on common sense. So when a official is talking and what you telling me doesn't make sense or it's not common sense for you to do this, you're a puppet. Like, check this out. I'm a war vet. I got PTSD, get paid for it, all that good stuff. there are non-violent felons who are felons because they wrote a hot check. And you can't get these people their guns, but you got 18 to 20-year-olds that don't know how to pay rent, don't know how to pay, they don't know where to go to pay a light bill, don't know how to fill out paperwork to buy a car, but you're letting them fill out paperwork to get to buy a gun. And now this is what you're going to happen. All the 18-year-olds that's still in school, that graduating at 18, that's packing these guns, it's going to be a revenge era.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
So just based upon a little synopsis there, it sounds like literally they're arming the population, assuming that it's going to be a lot of people, melanated individuals, looking to get those guns because they can now, and they're going to end up using it against themselves. Like it's going to be something where somehow, some way, it's going to incite gun crimes like never before amongst the younger population, so they can probably kill themselves, similar to the way they probably flooded the cities with dope back in the day. Like, you know, get them guns, like get them drugs, where let them do what they do and kill themselves type of situation. Daryl, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
That's exactly what's going on. Check this out. When they started, let's go back to Cleveland. When Cleveland was rioting, remember when they came out and all the police came out and protected the police station and all this crap, right? They're not doing that in any other situation other than for themselves. Anytime it's time to protect us, there is no protection for citizens. There's only repercussions for your actions, which you do when you disobey the law. That's it. We're going to throw you in jail. I just watched the clip. Guy got pulled over routine traffic stop. From the beginning, when they see him, they jump out the car, hands up, hands up, hands up. This is what the cops start doing. He starts being belligerent with the guy. The guy puts his hands up. He said, "You better not effing move. I'm going to release the effing dog." First thing comes to my mind is, why are you aggressively cursing? What is professional about you being in uniform on camera using profane language? You don't have to curse me out to arrest me, especially when you seeing me comply.
Yeah.
So people got to stop not necessarily looking at actions of people. Look at how they're talking to you. If you come across a cop and you're doing everything right and he's belligerent with you out of the blue, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
you're in trouble. There's no way around it, man. And look, only thing you could do is keep your hands where they can see him and let them know that you're scared. Could you please call for a higher officer? Look, going to our government official, we have to replace these people. Greg Abbott, all these people, Ted Cruz, they are nobodies. No one is in your city of Detroit. No one's in my city over here, Killeen. Nobody is going to fight for you. Our job is to be against you the whole entire time.
Yeah. That's real, man. Daryl, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us, man. Doing something a little different. Trying to get the people a voice out right, man. What's going on with you, man?
Just a couple snippets. That gun law, that's nothing big, man. Mississippi, man, you can carry at 18. No license. Don't need it. So what he passed.
The point is that's there and it's normal. You integrating that into a place to where it's not normal. Just like, okay, I went out and lived in Oakland, California. And when I went there, I saw all these dudes standing on the street corners at stop signs, 20 deep, 15 deep. And the only thing that came to my mind, I say, man, you can't do that where I'm from. You're going to jail. They pulling up on you so quick and dare you to pull something out your pocket.
No, but I'm saying that it's other states that have already implemented that. So it's not like that's something new that they did. Secondly, I kind of agree with you with, my wife and I had this discussion last night, and I just feel like, when I think about this vaccine passport and I think about what it means and what they're doing, there's going to be a hard line. It's going to be red states versus blue states. And to me, that is the total way the United States fall. Nobody's going to come here and beat us. What's going to happen is we're going to beat ourselves from within. Civil war. And that's what I feel like is happening. Is Greg Abbott a puppet? Probably. And so, because it's two sides of the same coin, but there's going to be the red states are going to take a hard line in the sand, and the blue states are going to take a hard line in the sand. And now what you create is civil unrest and civil war. And that's the only way to me, that's how America will fall. It's from within. Nobody's gonna come to our shores and do it. It's gonna be from within. The vax versus the unvax, the black versus the white. It's gonna be total crumble because you crumble a nation from within. You're not gonna, when the United States go over somewhere and they infiltrate the government, they crumble it from within and they destabilize it. That's gonna happen with us. To me, that's how America will fall.
That's already happening here.
We're gonna
But check this out.
destabilize.
I'm glad he brought up the red and blue states. This is one piece of thing that information that we missing. I heard this quote from a wise man. He said, when two elephants in a room fight, when two elephants are fighting, the only ones that suffer is the grass. So you got Democrats and Republicans and they're fighting. See, what we don't know is, or what we do know, they're in cahoots together, man. There's
Correct.
no way that you could be a government entity and behind closed doors make the country evolve if you're not agreeing to something. They're coming out in front of us and not agreeing. What does that do? The people who are red, yeah, I believe you. The people who are blue, yeah, I believe you. And now we're fighting.
Yeah,
but they're agreeing, because how else are we gonna move forward? Now, if they really disagree, we would be on a for real lockdown.
So here's the question: do you think that lockdown is coming the way they're playing a narrative, like they're really setting it up? You see that?
Yeah, it's coming, because Australia's already locked down. Spain's already locked down. It's one thing I know about finances. Everything starts because the European banking system really overrides all banking systems, because that's where it started. Anything globally, pandemic wise, financial crashes, you're going to start seeing the elements outside of your country. And the reason I say that before it reaches the United States, because we're the land of the free. A lot of countries outside of us are dictatorship. They don't really have a voice. So whatever we say, whatever Queen Elizabeth say, whatever Putin say, whatever over there in China say, look, this is what y'all gonna ride with. But okay, we got to start here, because we already know once we get to the United States, that's the land of rebellions. They got their own mind. So guess what? We get to America. We need y'all to do this. Well, we ain't gonna do that. Well, you ain't got no choice, because this country's already did, this country did it, and now we're implementing, because we don't want to be left out. We don't want America to be last. You're going to have to join.
I can see that, but I also, even though I don't trust them, there are a lot of governors coming out saying they're not, red state governors saying they're not locking down. Mississippi governor said, we're not doing that. Like, the economy can't handle it again.
And you know why they say that, though? To make the people at home that own guns be like, yeah, right, we ain't finna lock down. Now check this out. The whole time he already planning for the lockdown, and we're left rebelling. Because look, if I'm the leader right now, I come to y'all, I'll be like, okay, I'm the speaker of Atlanta, boom, and I run Atlanta. That means whatever my people want for this town of state of Atlanta, this is what I have to go say. And I'm on national TV, and I'm putting them, look, we're not locking down. We're standing our ground. Everybody at home on this news watching it be like, yeah, you go, pay me money back. Yeah, we ain't locking down. About time somebody got some balls and stand there. Now, the whole time be like, we locking down on what date? The 13th of September? Man.
They were like, events change. This new strand of the article I said, Fauci said something worse is coming. Something worse going to come at the right time, where a lot of governors may change their tune to where it's going to piss a lot of people off.
I would like to, I'm not saying it won't happen, because, I don't trust no government official, but it's just, I do find it odd that DeSantis even said, he even threatened to take some funding away from a school system because of a mask. I do think they're playing us against each other. I think that's a long-term strategy, because, like I said, for America to fall, and it's biblical. Like, we're gonna fall. That just has to happen. We are the modern day Babylon, the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. We are that. And for us to fall, it's going to be from within. It's not going to be another country coming over here and conquering the United States. No, we're gonna do it to ourselves, in my opinion.
Yeah. LBP, man, what's going on, boss? Good to see you.
How you guys doing today?
Doing
right,
good,
what's
man.
up,
Cut your hair.
You cut your hair?
Yeah, my daughter, she got some scissors and cut it off.
I don't recognize him no more, man.
Yeah,
He
look,
looks different.
I lost all my strength.
You look Hollywood now.
Yeah, you look Hollywood.
I don't know what
you
that
got the
means, but
jab.
okay. I hope it's good. I hope it ain't West Hollywood.
Oh man, I'm trying to do something different, man. Get the people involved, and it's always good to be able to connect with people directly as opposed to just talking to cameras or talking on the phone, man. So appreciate you guys joining us. So I guess the consensus is we're gonna start a petition. I don't know. I'm not sure how we're gonna label it, but yeah, we're gonna pass it amongst the community, and then if guys are willing to volunteer and go out in the streets and get more signatures, we got to start. So we'll see.
We
how
don't
that
even
goes.
have to go to the streets. What you have to do is start. Listen, everybody know about spam in the chat, spam in the chat, spam in the chat. We got to go spam important people. You got to go talk. Everybody got to do their due diligence. Like once we come up with the concept of what to do, everybody got a household. Everybody got friends and family. Everybody's friends and family have social media. That's how it starts. You got to start with the people that you trust and the people that trust you. You just don't go out there frivolously and start talking to the pig and you got pearls because you don't cast your pearls before swine. Let me stop.
Good point. Now watch this. Now, for those that are willing to sign their name on that dotted line, you're putting yourself out there, similar to the forefathers that signed the Declaration of Independence. Once the ink dries, you out there, ain't no turning back, man. And that's the thing, getting people to realize that if we gonna really put a foot down and say change is now or else, we got to be willing to ride for that one. You know what I'm saying? So
check this out.
Yeah.
1998, November 22nd, I signed my life on the line. I'm a war vet, special forces electrician. My whole job was when I went to war was to keep the special forces, people that was killing Taliban with power the whole time. They know everything about me. I don't fear nobody, man. The only thing they can do is say nothing. They can't say nothing.
Man, they're losing the battle already. These states are look, DC wants to keep everyone in line, and they're losing control of these states. So I think we're already winning the battle. The what do you call it? Washington, they want to keep everything together so they could keep taxing us and raping us and doing what they're doing. They're not gonna risk losing everyone over some states, over this lockdown stuff. I don't think they're not going to lock down. I don't think so, because these states are going to fight back.
I think they are, man. I ain't saying it's going to be a long time, but I do think they're going to do something. I think they're going to try to lock it down. It might just start off with a week or 2 weeks. The minimum is always 2 weeks.
Remember, stop the curve, slow the curve, 7 days to slow the curve or something.
Yeah, it's going to be real small, just where you're not tripping.
Because look, you got separation of powers from the states and the feds. The feds, I don't think they could do it. You got look how many municipalities you got, and they got their own police. You got sheriffs, you got constables, you got state police. The feds, they can't do it. They don't have enough power.
And that's the thing. We had all those people the first time we got locked down.
But see, we never locked down, really. It's all in your mind, the lockdown.
That's true. Because I was driving.
I was still doing everything.
Yeah, me too.
It's a lot different than what's happening in Brisbane, Australia, where you got, troops on the street literally telling you to go back in your damn house. I saw a video today, man, on TikTok where a police officer stopped somebody and he asked for his ID, and he's, it was no confrontation. Nothing was a setup to my knowledge. He's saying, excuse me, sir, you got to come with us. We're going to the hospital because we don't think you're in your right frame of mind. So I'm thinking he's like, well, I want to go to the damn hospital. Why am I going to the hospital? So assuming they were going to take him to the hospital to jab him up. And they called in 3 or 4 cars, and then the video went off. But I'm thinking, I don't know what the hell happened before, but they insisted that they come that he come with them to go to the damn hospital. So that type of tyranny is what's taking place, I assume, in that country there, where the forced jabs is taking place. And so the question is, how will that occur here if it does, state by state, or what? What do you guys think?
Nah, they get their head blown off down here trying to do that crap.
It can't work. It won't work.
It has to be
you cannot. It's too many country. These police will get knocked off one by one, left, and everybody has a gun, and everybody got semi-automatics and automatics down here, and we got a lot of ammo. You can't do that. You might can do that in L.A. and New York. You can't do that down here.
It won't work in Texas.
It won't work.
They won't enforce it. They won't enforce it.
It won't work.
You know what? Check this out. let's just say y'all are 100% right. And I almost believe you. I'm 99% there, but it's 1% of a population that y'all are ruling out. You're right. Local is not going to enforce it, and that's when the UN come in.
But here's
They
the
ain't gonna
problem.
happen, man. The UN come knocking on your door. There's gonna be a firefight. Ain't
Here's
nobody
the
gonna let
problem.
UN
That
troops in
might
their
work
I,
in a
neighborhood.
I don't
very
know if it's gonna be a
populated area.
firefight because how much power, man,
That
we
that
could roll
that
up with
might
a
work in a
UN,
very
a
populated
UN tank.
area, but the UN gonna keep start going down these.
Look, government wants to
They
keep
start coming
power.
down these country. They start coming
Gov-
down these country roads. Things could get really ugly.
True,
the
It,
but
it,
government wants itself to keep living. If it does something like that, it's over. They're
yeah,
not
it's
gonna
over.
risk. Yeah,
It ain't no turn. It ain't
they
no turning
rather.
back from that.
Yeah,
You go to
that's too
bombing
far.
American people on American soil, which hold on,
I
they've
think
done it
people are
now.
going. I think
They've
is
done
okay.
it.
Check. It's one thing I learned back when Hitler was doing it, and ever since those times have gone, I've been monitoring how it's changed. We're done with forcing, bro. We're done with that. Everything now is psychologically. You're gonna do it willingly on your own. You're gonna comply on your own. Just like, okay, I never would have thought that we would be at 50% of vaccinated population.
If you believe those
That
stats, if you believe those
I
numbers.
don't
If
believe
you
that.
believe it.
I don't believe you know why? Because states down here are less than 25% vaccinated.
Wow.
Like
I
like
would say,
that's a must be mostly New York and Cali numbers because it ain't happening down
look,
here. And at my
look how bad
job, we
they're
just had
pushing
a
it.
I,
That is
my
true.
my job just they're pushing the vaccine and 20% of the workforce is only 20% of the workforce is vaccinated. And
Wow.
they're like, if you vaccinated, you need to get reported so we can get our numbers up. Nobody wants that down here, man. I think it
No,
depends on what
it's
part of
not
the
working.
country you in.
Look, they're giving free cheeseburgers. They're doing all kinds of stuff,
Lotteries,
and nobody
college
wants it.
tuition,
You know what
scholarships.
would help this country? And it's too far embedded to get rid of it. But have y'all ever thought about this? The United States has too many loopholes. Let's just start with tax. Jeff Bezos, how is it a loophole to where if you owe 2 billion in taxes, you can divorce your wife and give her the company and you avoid it? How is it in the police
because
force? Huh? Go ahead.
the tax code was written by the entrepreneur. Like you got to understand that it was written by the
Oh no,
person for that type of
I
person.
know, I get it, but trust me, I'm already ahead of that. That's what I'm saying, though.
But
My point is, why are we allowing the loopholes?
Because
Okay, for
look,
instance,
because
look. Let
because
me let me let me tell you something real quick. It doesn't matter what loopholes we have and how much money they don't pay. Governments are printing trillions, so all that tax money, it's just a waste. It's just to keep middle class people down. Look at me. I don't earn 150, so I get child tax credit. I don't pay taxes. I get a refund at the end. Well, the majority of the people aren't making 150,000, so majority of America aren't paying taxes. And these billionaires, it don't matter how much taxes they do or don't pay. When governments are printing trillions, the money has no value. You know what I'm saying?
which is another loophole for letting them counterfeit. So why ain't we saying something? It's counterfeiting.
That's what we need to stop. Is the printing of money creation. The taxes are kind of like it's deflationary. You're taking funds away. What they need to do is it's better for them to not tax because then there's more money in the system and more inflation. That's what they want. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Child support. Number one, involuntary slavery.
No,
No
you're supposed
funny.
to be taking care of your kids regardless. If you had them, and look, take care of them. So if they come after your ass for child support, you deserve it.
I don't know nothing about that.
Hey, look, if you got
Um,
kids that you brought into this world
mhm,
and you are nowhere around these children and
mhm,
she wants some money for the kids, I don't care what she use it for. That's between her and the system. If
mhm,
I gotta send somebody to investigate you to record you, but I got too many homies that that don't take care of kids and they well off into their 30s. So I'm a firm. I take care of my children. I got 3. I'm 40 years old. I do not play. If you got kids out here and you are not taking care of them and they come after you for child support, kudos, because you should be taking care of them and keeping your own track as a grown man.
Yeah, hey, I agree with that. So,
as a grown man, like right now, low blood pressure, nobody can say nothing because you've already got it solidified that you take care of your children. So you're exempt. Like, I don't even know why you're on child support. If you are on child support, I hope not.
Not like that.
But let us look up on YouTube
one
day and you be like, hey Mike, I'm out here by myself on the Ghost and I'm fishing. Look, no children. And then you get hit with child support. I'll be like, see, you done ran off.
So I do want to take back one of my statements earlier. They might would bomb America on American soil because they've done it before. In Philly. They bombed that block, in 1980s. Oh yeah, it was an uprising. It was a black power group that was taking care of the neighborhood and going against the cops, and they dropped a bomb in the neighborhood in Philly in the 1980s. I thought
the Constitution said that, since we pay taxes for the government, that they're not allowed to use our military forces in any shape, form, or fashion against United States citizens.
Yeah, they've done it on American soil. You pull it up, Mike?
Yeah, I got it right here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Right. I thought didn't they bomb in the Black Wall Street? Didn't they bomb Oklahoma too? Was that a bombing too?
I think so. But this was the most recent.
So this right here, the day the police bombed a city street can scar the 1985 movie Atrocity Be Healed. So yeah, I ain't never heard about them bombing a damn street.
Man, it's happening. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I had to take that statement back.
Bro, and that's what I was saying. I was like, what make y'all think that if we come out there with guns, that these folks ain't gonna kill us down?
Man, I've never seen as an airstrike.
Airstrike. Yeah, they bombed a whole city block. They leveled that joker.
Dog,
kids and all.
Crazy. What happened to SWAT team? What happened to like calling a SWAT team or something? Like keeping it rubber bullets or something. They dropped a damn bomb on us.
They got Mike. They got a rubber shortage right now. They ain't got no rubber bullets.
C4 plane.
Yeah. C4 plastic explosives of the sort widely C4 explosive, man. That's so yeah. So based upon that, like obviously they no shame in their game. So they did it once, they'll do it again. And that's the thing. Now they get technology far better. They got drones. They got little micro mini drones. They just drop small little mini nuke. You know what I'm saying? Oh man.
Hey, we got to get away from using words like militia and stuff. That's why I be stressing, Mike, that if we gonna do something, listen to me close, man. We have to change the wording. The government in this political world, it's all about wording, spells. That's why it's called spelling, because what you say and how you say it can affect somebody in some type of way, shape, form, or fashion. It's a spell. So when I say we have to create a corporation, I mean that, because when you get ready to sue or participate in those petitions toward that, they recognize these type plays. They're not gonna recognize a militia. They're not gonna recognize Muslim groups. They're not gonna recognize Black Panthers and stuff. You have to be like, oh, the corporation, there's an LLC or whatever. There's a panel. So you're gonna have the people, and then you're gonna have the people that represent the people. Let's just say, boom, Mike, low blood pressure. My partner here.
Hey, be careful when you start talking about Black Panthers and militia. Don't put my name there, man. Be careful.
Oh, that's no, I feel you. But okay, so now we the panel, and now we
you gotta be careful.
We're not individuals no more. So on the docket, it's going to read the United States versus the corporation or whatever. And then, like I said, when you go and talk, we have to be politically correct. You have to know what you're doing, and you get your point across. It's not, sometimes the war, man, is not to go in and win. Sometimes the war is set up to plant seeds for the battle to be fought later on.
All right.
Hey, let me take it back to crypto. Can I talk about crypto?
Sure. Can I say one thing before we go to crypto?
Go ahead.
if we're talking from the biblical sense, this got to happen anyway.
Facts. That's what I was saying.
Like it's you can't stop it if we go from a biblical sense. It's got to happen anyway.
Facts. And that's led to. Remember the last time I chimed in, I was like, look, I can't talk to nobody no more. I said, look, if y'all not trying to live off the land, be by natural spring water. You're not trying to have access to a fishing tank. If you don't have your own cattle that you raise, you don't have a personal garden with all the herbs and elements. If you don't have your bags of flour and stuff stocked up, if you don't know how to preserve meat, if you don't know how to preserve canned goods, any of these type things, that's what's valuable. To preserve self-preservation on your own land, and we're away from that. They push the world so far into tech to, oh my God, I need Wi-Fi. This stupid phone isn't working. Who's gonna give us time for all that?
Yeah, man. Well, gentlemen, we approached our 2-hour point, man, and I did enjoy the back and forth and getting those ideas. So we got a first step of action. Let's put something down on paper, turn it into a politically correct statement that allows us to voice our opinions and our concerns, and then share with the people. And then I guess, at some point form an entity of some kind to make it legal and law-abiding type of entity that they can, go that we can use. So I'm about that. I definitely need help, gentlemen. So if we got anybody out there
Mike,
in the law game,
there's one thing you need to do, Mike. There's one thing you need to go back to doing, man. And you showed it to me in clips. And I really love it, man. And you I ain't gonna say you strayed away from it, but it may be reasons why you don't do it right now. There's clips that you showed in your little entries and stuff to where you're on the streets talking, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. I missed that.
We need you out there. That way we can really bag you. It's kind of like you lead by example. You be like, you know what? I got this platform. I got this mic. I've already been out here before. Let me take to the streets and start. Let me put my foot first. Take to the streets. Pick a section. It ain't got to be all over the place. Just pick a section and be like, we're going to run with it.
Yeah. Well, hey, baby money bags, man. That's a word of encouragement there, man. I'm going to definitely take that to heart, man. I've been wanting to do it. It's just a matter of how to position the angle. So I'll put some thought to it, and I'll get some ideas from the community, and I'll get out there and do it, man. And on top of that, if you want to get out there as well and record yourself, I definitely love to share it on my end too, so people can see the community out there trying to make a difference one at a time, man. So, hey, man, appreciate you joining, my man. Definitely enjoyed it. Looking forward to doing it again. So thanks for connecting with us.
Not a problem, man. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for having me.
All right, people. Oh, man. So that was fun. So that was my attempt to try to get the people involved. And so a lot of great thoughts thrown out there. But once again, it's just thoughts until we put some action to put our foot to the metal and put something on play. So for those who are communicated, for those who are watching, rather, if you got ideas, they're welcome. Just because we got, 4 September, October, November, December. We got 4 months or so to try to just make our voice heard as best we can, because I'm under the impression that there's something coming in the form of some event that the orchestrator of this event, they're going to try to throw at us, man. So we got to try to wake and warn as many people as possible so we can call them out on the carpet and say, hey, we already knew about this. We're not going to fall for this crap because we already knew that something was coming. However, we can do that. So anyway, I can rant forever. I'm not going to. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. If you enjoyed the back and forth, hit the thumbs up button real quick. Hit the thumbs up button. Show your support. Subscribe. Make sure you guys join in, and then join the Discord and the Telegram group so you get the invite next time, and so we can get more people from the community on here to share their thoughts. So be blessed, be safe, and let's dial back with a little bit of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight and to have the community come together, Father, just to share ideas and just, basically just gather, Lord, and to try to strategize on how to navigate these choppy waters. Lord, we pray that you bless all the individuals that join us tonight, all those that tuning in, wherever they may be watching from. May you bless their households, give them peace of mind, and give them comfort in their hearts, Lord. Allow them to let their voice be heard so they can preach the good news, which is to basically bring glory to you, Father. We thank you in advance for all you have done, and we thank you for the plan that you're going to execute through your church in this season. And pray in the name of Jesus, amen. Whew. All right, people. Man, this is the longest I've gone in quite some time. I enjoyed it. Definitely looking forward to doing it again. But anyway, be blessed, be safe. I will see you guys later. And as always, stay prayed up. Peace.